break it?
Nah. I'm just bad at doing it.
Huh?
I'm just not too good at it, even though I've done it like a billion times.
Yeah.
Is that on?
Bring me a couple. Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Can you put the phone in this one?
What?
Can you put the phone in this one?
Huh?
Can you put? You can't? Oh.
Just lift it up. That's it.
Oh.
Make one from, going from this side.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. Do we have any black ones or this is it?
I'll go back.
Yeah, thanks. Let's see if you have it. Good, thank you.
I told him. I told him, like, bro, like, yeah, I'm very pissed in class. I just want to get another team too.
Thanks so much, I appreciate it.
Just sitting down together and we do that. I know he school transfer on all those fucking that shit. She goes, oh, your girl's trafficked by the son, isn't it? She goes, yeah, she's trafficked by the son. She goes, but I'm really not so I said, I don't think it's a deal. That's the deal with it. And then I call my mom. I call my mom, yes, we're gonna get them engaged. I was like, no. It's like, this is a conversation I should have with like someone that's not her. You know, like, she was the first person there. Like, sitting next to me, and I was just like, shut up, that's in her house. Like, she's
She didn't reach out to you first thing in the morning. Like the next day, she should not be.
the wrong guy.
Yeah, you would, yeah. But,
But like, she's always there to talk to her.
yeah, no.
Is it fine that argument switched to the like education idea we were talking about with you before? Is it fine that argument we switched to the education idea we were talking with you before?
Like 10 minutes before I left.
What education?
Like being able to do massive little
He's like talking about
work
instead.
and like keep events
It's Wednesday.
like answering questions and like
She just like changed the topic. I was just like,
but we were just having like you were saying like the data collection stuff is part of like using creating apps and then
So funny.
so we just changed it.
Okay, so have you created, are you asking me or are you?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, because we talked about it last week, so I was just saying.
I think that's good. And also,
Because we were just changing the proposal and stuff.
okay, so let's
was asking the
do
wrong
that.
questions.
If
I knew
you
I
have time,
I was
we'll
thinking,
Yeah, I
work
can
with
see
you.
that class or.
Stay after class and we'll work it out together, and I think it's an excellent
Yeah,
idea.
because we were just talking about that like last week.
She was like freaking out.
You'd like it too?
Yeah, I think, it'd probably be,
Easier, but also that you can relate.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ian, you can set it up as, it really tokenizes
Yeah,
itself very
you're-
well.
Yeah, you're saying it's more like realistic.
And we can continue, and you can think about, we can continue using this as the sample. For instance, you can even take pictures and add it, of how we're broadcasting.
Yeah,
Right, and extending it, and then we can, basically, we can have moderators in the class. So when you're sitting here, you could even use your phone
Yeah.
to broadcast. You could moderate and help other students and get tokenized. Yeah. So stay with me after class, and then we'll work out the proposal together, and then we can start the website.
Yeah.
One person said this, like, oh,
Okay.
no one knows what's going on.
Okay, so let me just start a hangout. Okay, welcome back, folks. Good to have you all back. Nice to see your bright, cheerful faces, right? So some of you have to get into the mood of cheerful, but you have cheerful inside. Maybe you haven't projected it, right? So it's the idea, we can check for emotions, facial recognition, right, to see who's cheerful inside. So let's do this. Let's take out our name tags. Let's start. I'm going to start the broadcast. I'm going to say okay. It's starting. I'm going to share my screen. While everyone is gaining access. We'll start. I'll go to our broadcast. Let's see it on Steemit. Here's let's see what we see in Steemit. Okay. So we have the URL.
Can we edit on this?
Okay, look, see, even on this one, we can even have it on Steemit. We can broadcast one way where people are viewing it. And then we can have another one. The longer link is we can have people from around the world be experts around the world that can join our class. And then we can have other people that can get tokens, and we can even delay. In this case, if we think about it as education, we can say everybody can join the class anonymously without authentication to see if they like the class. Then after they stay in class, they want to get credit for the class, then they can enroll in the class, and then we can even give them tokens, and we can say after they get a degree, for instance, we may even use the token like we were talking about as almost a loan, and say start paying us back 3 or 4 years later, because we expect after you get the degree, then you'll have more salary or income to be able to pay it back. So and those in the class physically there can help in the moderating it, ask the questions, bringing other people into class. Then we can also do it in almost micro credits. Let's say there's a section, remember we had experts come in about blockchain. Maybe you just want to get a certificate just about blockchain. So you could take maybe 3 or 4 classes and then get, instead of 3 credits, maybe get a half a credit. So you can do it along the way, continuing professional education. Okay, great. So we got the Steemit here. All right, so we have a packed full day here. Let me, they're asking me to sign in. I'm in Blackboard. Let me talk about a couple of things with you. I'm going to go to BTE 210, the audit area. Also be with me at that point. I'm going to go to course documents. So group 1, what's the situation? Where are we now the project?
We already made our website. We're,
Okay,
like,
do you have the
editing
URL that we can go to on it?
Like,
We're
Post it,
still,
okay, let me,
we're still, like, we
We're
made
editing
it, we're
it.
editing it.
okay, so
but
let
we
me
haven't
tell you
done-
for Wednesday, put this in your notes. Wednesday, what I'd like to have is from each group, I want you to post your URL for your website describing your project, and even if it's temporary and you know that you're gonna be editing it, what I wanna make sure here is that you have that up. And where do I want it? What the easiest way to do, let's do it this way, so it's quick. Let's post, Shannon, let's post for everyone, let's post the URL right under the group. So post, everybody understand? So let's post the URL right where your group is so we can easily just click in and see what it is. So for Wednesday, I require then each group then have their URL, even if it's just the beginning, because of course we're going to edit it, we're going to do agile development, but at least then we can respond to it. Everybody with me? So for Wednesday, for each group, let's put in the URL. Of those of you that needed to change your, some of you have already shown me the beginnings of it, but even if it isn't, so at least get the parts that you can is an overview you should be able to get. You should be able to talk about your team, right? Each of you can have your pictures and the description of each of your members of the team, and then we'll talk about where we go from there. But at least to have your proposal part on your URL. Questions? We're set? So that'll be for Wednesday. We'll spend time on Wednesday going through those. Okay? Now, let me go back to Blackboard. And in Blackboard, what I want to do is I want to go to our regular section, go to assignments, and under assignments, you should have gone through business intelligence, cloud computing, the tech guide, and now let me make ERP available to you. So I'm going to edit the test options. And what do I need to change here? I'm going to open the test in new window. I'm going to make it available to the students. And I'll allow 2 attempts, okay? So that way, let's go down to make sure that we can see what we did right. This is correct, all answers, right, and submit. So what's your goal then is to do what? Conchetta, what do you need to do? Check to see if it's available on your end, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll cover, I'll do a preview of ERP with you today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over ERP, and ERP stands for, yeah, right, yeah, hold on. Cody, do me a favor, you have your phone? Just go outside and then they'll give you a code here on this phone number. Yeah. Thank you. So, here on the ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, we'll go over that. Questions before we continue? Cameron, you have a question?
Oh no, I was just making sure I had all the quizzes done.
Okay, so these are all the quizzes, and notice the second part, when we get to final, which is what? December, what was the date? Anybody remember when's our final?
I think 11,
What?
12.
December 12th, okay. December 12th is our exam. What I want to make sure that you understand is it'll cover the second part. We'll also go over the security part as well. Okay. So that should be available, Enterprise Resource Planning. So we're gonna go over the project. You have the URLs that you need to do on Wednesday. You need to post it right underneath your project. We'll go over the enterprise resource planning and trends. And then we are lucky to have the head of IT for Coral Gables. And the head of IT for Coral Gables, Information Technology, is going to be visiting us today. And they've won the #1 award for the most advanced tech city for Coral Gables. And they'll be talking about, they're looking for interns and they're looking for positions, and they'll be with us today. So they'll be coming in later on today. So let me go to web links. And in the web links, these are a couple of things that I want to make sure that we do. We'll open this up in a new tab. Let's see. And you have it on yours. You may want to download it as well. It's under your web links. It's smart cities, and you can see they'll be talking about it, and you'll be excited about it. Look what they're talking about. IoT dashboards. What's IoT? Internet things. GIS portals. What's GIS? What's GIS? And if you don't know, what would I tell you, Jackie?
Get up.
What's GIS? Because we have to look intelligent, right? We have to see that we have natural intelligence rather than just artificial intelligence. We need all the artificial intelligence we can get. What?
Geographic information system.
Geographic information systems, okay? Enterprise systems, we're going to talk about eGov, citizen engagement, public and private clouds, we know what that is, right? Data centers. Data centers, we'll see whether they use it on-prem or off-prem. Prem means what? It's a short word for what?
Premises.
Premises. It's on premises or in the cloud. Big data aggregation and analytics. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Video analytics. Open data and APIs. What's an API? Evan, what's an API?
I looked it up and Google was like,
Okay, what is it? Vanessa, what's an API? Let's move it.
Application program interface.
An application program interface, and guess what the flip side is? Who cares and what does it mean, right? So what is it? Who can tell me? Huh? What's an API? Raise your hand if you know. What's an API? Yes.
It's definitions, communication protocols, and tools for building software.
Okay, so what's it used for? Basically, think about it. Anybody's ever used Facebook? Right. Facebook has APIs. What does that mean? It means that other parties can basically use Facebook and write their own programs to Facebook. That's called an API. If you think about any major software, usually if they want other people to bring in content or use it, it's APIs. A lot of times for advertisers, they provide an API. It's almost like a hook that you can get.
We need another student for it.
Oh, okay, so in this case. All right, so, do you have your phone? Shauna, do you mind going on? Okay, thank you. All right, so the next one here is in terms of then API. Think about it, and open data and video analytics. And then they'll talk about it. Notice here, it's smart lights, traffic and parking, public safety, smart equipment, smart devices, high-speed communications. Wow, they're doing a lot. And they'll talk about it, but they won the best for a certain size. They won the most advanced in terms of smart cities. What they're trying to do and why they're reaching out to us is they want to think about putting Coral Gables, a lot of their activities on the blockchain. One of the activities is maybe real estate, a lot of their deeds and so forth. So the head of IT will be joining us, so I just want to make sure that we were prepared. So this was one, and the other one here is Coral Gables Smart City. Let's open it up in another tab, just to make sure that we got it. And this is Smart City Hub, a collaboration then of IoT sensors. So I'll let them talk about it, but you can think about all their sensors that's available to them. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, so if you go to your web links, these are the last two here on their web links are I'd like you to look at, and let me open this up in a new tab. Let's do it in a new window here. And ERP stands for what? Claudine, what does ERP stand for?
Enterprise resource plan.
Okay, so what's an enterprise?
Like a company or a brand.
Right, a company, a brand. Is this university an enterprise?
Yeah.
Okay, and if we think about the enterprise, thank you so much. If we think about the enterprise, we can think about it as a university. And if we think about an enterprise, traditionally, it has been planning, production, sales, technology, storage. HR stands for what? Conchetta?
Human resources.
Human resources and accounting. What traditionally has been is each area has had their own information systems. So for accounting has their own information systems, HR has their own information systems, sales has their own information systems, planning has their own, and what they have done is enterprise resource planning means that I'm going to try to take all my resources and put them together and not be siloed. What's siloed mean? Chris, what's siloed mean?
Let me look it up.
Okay, what's a silo? Who knows? Besides Chris looking it up. Storage, basically that it's on its own. When you talk about information systems, that it's siloed, it's almost as if, how many people are marketing majors? So if you were a marketing department, you were just had all your information in marketing and accounting didn't know about you. It's sort of siloed in your database. So what you want to do, Maddie, is that basically you want to share what is the key here. You want to share also in accounting. If you have a marketing campaign, you want to be what? Profitable. You want to create more sales, so you want to be connected to what's happening in sales. You just don't want to have your marketing department just have your information. And HR, if you're really a great employee, Maddie, what do you want? You want to be promoted, right? You want to get more basically rewarded in terms of salary in a higher position. So the HR should then be basically set to what you've done in sales. So what has happened is, in this case, companies have exceeded, and especially for their they've had what they call ERP software. A lot of times that ERP software comes from what they call CRM. So put in your notes here, CRM is called Customer Relationship Management. Because isn't my customers, Maddie, if you're going to be doing your campaign, it's going to be dependent on who your customers are, right? So I'm going to have my customer relationship management, and even in this case, all the way to my inventory management, all the way to my point of sale. What's a point of sale, Maddie? You know what a point of sale is? What store have you ever shopped at Publix?
Yeah.
You just take something off the shelf and go out the door? What do you do?
It's a purchase, it's a purchase, it's the time and place where a retail transaction is completed,
Right, so where do you do that in Publix?
at the, register.
At the register, right? So any other store that you're at the register, it's like a point of sale.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about Target being hacked? They hacked it during the point of sale. Have you ever put your credit card in, for instance, have you ever been to a Target? So you've been to a Target, basically they had the point of sale, and what they ended up doing is somebody broke into their system and they attacked those point of sale. Basically, you can think about those boxes there. And what do I get? I get your what? I get your, basically your name, your credit card name, and I can use it, and I can be Maddie as well. So that's the point of sale here. They're implemented then, in this case, in a modular fashion. So what you can think about, I'd like you to read this article, but two of the biggest, and put this in your note, the two biggest ERP systems is Oracle and SAP. Anybody hear about those? Oracle is what? Cameron, Oracle's what?
I just know it from like stocks and.
Okay, so Oracle, so look it up. So if we think about it, Oracle, you know it from stocks because it's publicly traded, very good. And what does Oracle do?
It's a technology.
Company that made, its main emphasis is what? What's its main emphasis? Michael, what?
Cloud.
Cloud and what else? Databases. Data. So this Oracle is a leader in databases, and guess what? If I have databases, does enterprise resource planning, you think it has data? Cameron? Of course, it has data, data, and where do you think they're going to be going? These are the newest one, and SAP, have you ever heard of that? Cody, have you ever heard of SAP? SAP, have you heard about that? SAP is probably the leader in enterprise resource planning. It's based in Germany, and what it's very good for, if I have complex manufacturing plant, think about an automobile. Basically, it can trace then all the methods that I'm going to put together an automobile or any of the SAP. So one of the things that we're going to do, the trend of ERP, do I have an eraser here? Yes, I do. So one of the trends of an ERP is what we call SaaS. You're on a roll, Cameron, today. So if I think about SaaS, what's it stand for?
Server analysis.
No, what's it stand for?
Software as a service.
Software as a service. There's so many acronyms. And you know what? Maybe the next time we'll do it. So software as a service. So what is software as a service? Do you have any idea, Shanna?
No. I'll look it up.
Okay. Michael, you have an idea what software as a service is? What does it sound like?
Software that's used for services.
Right? Or if we're gonna, let's say we want to, what are you gonna do? Let's say we were, basically, what are you doing for your project? Right.
Blockchain casinos.
Okay, blockchain and casinos, and basically what we could do then, if we created that, we could create a software as a service, and what would we do? A monthly subscription fee that they could use our software. And where would we probably host it? We could host it in the cloud, and then basically people that wanted to use it, they could subscribe to it. So you think about something like Dropbox, right? People use something similar storage. That's what? Software as a service. Basically, how do I get it? Via the internet, I'm going to subscribe to the software. That's a business model. They say, rather than selling you the software and you downloading it on your computer, you'll use it as a subscription fee. Did you want to add anything, Michael?
Wouldn't that have been blockchain as a service?
Blockchain as a service. And it's part of, and what am I going to do? I'm going to create that blockchain as software. So it's going to be that blockchain as a service then would be another example of software as a service. And you'd have that blockchain. Basically, your software would be there and it would reside on the blockchain, being as a service. So, in this case, what I'm going to be doing, we'll examine, so one of the questions, which would be nice on the open-ended for the final, would be, what are the trends for ERP? ERP traditionally has been on-premise. On-premise means what? Dan, what does on-premise mean?
It's on the computer, but
It basically is hosted, I get servers on my premise, like in my enterprise, and we download the software and we run it on, for instance, on this campus. But the trend now is ERP and software as a service, where traditionally, you can put this in your notes, traditionally ERP have been stored on the enterprise servers, on the enterprise company. What's the problem with that? If I asked you, Jackie, what's the disadvantage for traditionally the ERP application stored on your server? What would be the disadvantage? Jackie, do you understand my question? First, let's figure out the question. Life is a little bit hectic, so I know. So let's just focus in, Jackie, on the question. What's my question? What's the disadvantage?
of the ERP server on the server.
Right, hosting on your server. Just think about it. Let's not even look it up. Just think about it. What would you need if I sold you, not software as a service, I said, you know, I got my ERP, Jackie, you're the IT director, you're the CIO, you're the Chief Information Officer of this university. It's a nice job to have. You get tuition remission, you can do, you get all those holidays off, right? So he said, not bad for a first job.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay, we'll start with that one. It'll be your alma mater, you know already. It's kind of nice. Okay, and somebody said, you know what? Let me. You can buy my software. Let's say Oracle or I'm SAP. I'm going to sell it to you, and then you're going to say, hey, it's going to be stored on your servers. What would be a disadvantage for you?
They're using my servers, so that means I have less.
So you have to buy computers. Do they get obsolete? Yeah, it's good that you have her, right? She's good supporting you, right? So in this case here, you think in 3 years or 4 years, we're gonna have to upgrade it, right? Who's gonna install it for you?
Yourself,
You have to get a team then to install it, a team to maintain it, a team when you're gonna get bugs on it. So one is that you have to get hardware. You have to keep on basically devoting that hardware. You have to make sure it's up and running. So what's the advantage by means here of getting it as software as a service? Who's hosting it? Oracle would be hosting it, or SAP, or another, or Microsoft, or whoever is going to be there, you understand? So I want you not just to look it up, but it's the idea that if I get it as software as a service, I don't have to have the personnel as intensively to support it. And what is the advantage here? Is that you can do other things, Jackie, and what happens if my lead team, they leave me, right? You have to train them. So this is the idea. So put this in your notes here, that ERP, and we call it, a lot of times they'll call it the word SaaS. So in that case here, that SaaS here, it's invested. And now, although software seems to be either or proposition, a lot of times they'll combine it. So depending on which company it is, sometimes they'll do a mixed ERP that's part of it I'll store on my own premises, part I won't. So you can think about here is the core ERP modules. Put this in your notes. Financials, who's my accounting majors? If I have accounting, all of my financials are here. HR, payroll, that's going to be important. Sales and marketing, and logistics. What's logistics? Who can tell me? My other Vanessa, what's logistics? Eden, what's logistics?
It kind of like the way it works, I guess. Like it's like the detailed coordination.
Okay, what's logistics? Let's say we're selling cars. What's logistics? I have my factory right in Detroit, where do I sell it? Do I sell my car from Detroit? Do you have a car?
Yeah.
What kind of car do you have?
A Mercedes.
A Mercedes, okay. So the Mercedes, let's say it was manufactured in Germany.
Okay.
If it's manufactured in Germany, do you have to go to Germany to get it?
No.
No. So what does it have to be? It has, logistically, right? It has to be shipped from, let's say, Germany, or let's say they ended up now, Mercedes said, you know what, certain cars will then manufacture in South Carolina. But where are the parts coming? Could be from all over the world. All of those parts then logistically have to get to its location and location. All of that logistically is how my supply chain is being run, is done logistically. Sales and marketing and optional modules and verticals. I can have a vertical being manufacturing, retail, business intelligence, giving me the dashboards of what you need. And then what you can also think about is I can then put with it, I can put the Internet of Things. So what I can do on as more devices become connected to the Internet, more data can be automatically funneled into the ERP systems. So this gives better oversight over such things as the supply chain. And let's think about the car, right? That's going to be my supply chain, Eden, right? Then I'm going to start from those parts, put those together in my supply chain. I can think about my shipping partners, my appliance, think about food, right? If we think about from the fields to the supermarket, that's going to be my supply chain. Have you ever heard about all that salmonella or some kinds of people that got sick? They're going to say what, Vanessa? That we got to find through the supply chain. Where was the problem? Was it the guy that didn't wash his hands in the Chipotle, or was it in the fields in California where the lettuce was grown? Or was it in Mexico? So this is part of the supply chain. So read this article, and this is a good article for understanding that. So if I look at the next one, this is called SAP. SAP is the largest German company that provides enterprise resource planning software. And when we think about it, you can go to this. This is at the end of your links called SAP.com trends, and you'll get so excited about this. This is where SAP thinks they're the coming trends. And what does SAP want to do? They want to sell more or sell less? Of course, they want to sell more. They want to see where's the industry going. And so where do they think there's going? In the digital age, business leaders must stay on top of the emerging and future technologies. But where do you start and enjoy the latest digital trends? So traditionally, it's been, we're selling Jackie then, originally that software he's going to put onto his premises, and no thanks. And they keep on interfering, right? These guys want to help me, right? Don't you like it? And look what they think are trends. First one, big data, right? Big data continues flow, volume, and variety. Learn about the latest big data trends, including what? Real-time analytics. So I know what my business is going to do right now, not a month ago, not last week, but right now. It's almost like thinking about real-time in the stock market, right, Cameron? That when you think about the stock market, I want real-time data. I want to know from last week. If you're running an enterprise, you want to know now, what are my students that are now going to be, what majors are they? What about my incoming students? What about those students then that are applying? I want to have real-time data on them. Notice here that even in the enterprise, the ERPs, blockchain has potential to majorly disrupt every industry. This is the distributed ledger technology that goes far beyond cryptocurrencies. Do we know these two? Yeah. Cloud computing from then SaaS And guess what? We got a new acronym. Aren't you excited? So this, even I know, is what? AAS stands for what? As a service. So what's the P? Platform, as a service. And you say, what the heck is a platform? A platform many times is like an operating system. So basically what I'm going to be doing is using, so put this in there, no, this is a platform, and you can think about it many times as a service. And then digital business is a trend too. Traditional business models are being radically disrupted in the digital economy. Discover what it takes to be a digital business and learn about the innovative technologies about that. Internet of Things, IoT, connecting machine to machine and machines to people in nearly every industry. Explore these are the networks of internet and machine learning, which we know is part of AI. Learning and deep learning are powering new breed of software innovations. See the technology harnessing an ocean of big data to create business opportunities. What does big data allow me to do? Look at my data either internally or externally and find me trends. Find me ways to do what? In business, I want to do what? I want to reduce my costs, increase my what? Revenues. And I want to get closer to my customers. Basically, my customer experience. If I can get closer to my customers, I can understand my customers better. And then hopefully, I'll be able, via technology, reduce those costs and increase my revenues. And then, what you can see here is mobilely. That a lot of times it's important for me to connect via mobile devices. Engage then my employees, my customers, and my stakeholders. Why do my employees need to be engaged? A lot of times, for instance, I have to check for payroll. I have to check for human resources. What do I have all the time with me is my mobile device. I don't want to be going on to my computer. A lot of times I can do it via my mobile device. So via my mobile device, basic way SAP, for instance, is trying to do more. Small and mid-sized businesses, traditionally enterprise, you can put this in your notes, ERP systems traditionally were done by large organizations. Now what do they say? Hey, I've sold to the Fortune 500. Guess what? I got a lot of small businesses, medium-sized businesses they want to sell to as well. So they want to even do the same thing, is they want to get closer to their customers and be able to get new customers. So you can see for your homework, if you look to each of these, for instance in the blockchain explained from an enterprise way, look at this. How much we've learned already. What is blockchain? The simplest blockchain definition, a reliable, difficult to hack record of transaction, and who owns what. Blockchain is based on distributed ledgers technology, which securely records information across a peer-to-peer network. Although originally was for trading Bitcoin, and then they tell that it can include land titles, loans, identities, logistics, almost anything of value. Watch the Blockchain 101 video. We don't need to watch it, but you can see here that each of these are really basically what? It is a review of what we talked about. How does it work? 4 types of networks. You see this? That they end up doing the private blockchains, the public, the age of blockchain transactions, and guess what? SAP says, hey, I don't want to be out of this too. I want to make money too out of this. Do I know data? Yes, I'll do blockchain, doing business in the money, transforming transaction processing for the digital economy. Okay, and then they give you the facts on this. A lot of times what I'd like to, I do this as well, is that you can see that when I look at those tech trends, I'd like to go to the major companies to get what is the latest, where are they gonna try to, they're up on the trends and they wanna sell. So for instance, in big data, if I click on big data, what is big data? Is the ocean of information, zettabytes flowing, data technologies such as in-memory data management, analytics, artificial, help you transform your business and notice the human face of big data, becoming an insight-driven business to know about my business, what I don't see, data analytics, busting data management myths, see what customers are saying. So in a way, discover deeper insights. And whether they call using big data, finding valuable insights and correlations, advanced strategies, bringing order to the data chaos, get a jump start. So you can see, in that case, you can find the other one. Now, if I type in Oracle, and ERP trends, right? Notice when I learn more from Oracle, anybody ever hear about Workday?
Enter chat message or link here. Enter text.
What do I get here in terms of,
Turn camera on button.
we got some things. So what do I got here in
Turn
Workday?
camera on button.
We're getting people talking to us now. So what is here in terms of Workday? Look it up. What's Workday? We use it here at the university. Jackie, if you're going to be the CIO, you need to know this because you're going to be using it.
Workday is an on-demand financial management and human capital management software.
Right, we use it here on campus. So if you look to Workday, we can just do Workday, right? You can see cloud ERP systems for what? Finance, HR. So basically, all our payroll, all the benefits, Workday. Where do you think it's housed?
Workday.
In the cloud, right? It's in the cloud. Basically, Jackie, the beauty here is that you don't have to host it, right? You don't have to host it, but the idea is that you have to make sure that all the configuration is done correctly. Because remember what I talked about Workday before? Workday before, the problem was is they didn't make sure that it was configured properly, and somebody stole the employee passwords and got into their got into their payroll, and what did they do? They changed the bank account and sent it over to someone else's bank account. So that person is no longer working here, but that won't happen to you, Jackie, okay? So you make sure that it's going to be configured properly. So if I look back at ERP trends, right, of Oracle, then basically you can see here those top trends of ending those obsolescence that you can see in Oracle. So you can see here that it basically has those trends for ERP industry, right? Those trends of obsolescence is intelligent finance. Talk to an expert, right? But they want to do that intelligence and trying to make it, in this case, more. So if I go to oracle.com, do that with me. Let's go to Oracle. Let me open up a new tab and just type oracle.com. And look what they talk about. Anybody know who that is? Platform as a service for dummies. We're no dummy, right? So anyways, basically what they're trying to do, autonomous database, right? Watch Larry, that's Oracle ranked as leader, B2B Marketing Association. And Oracle started out also as a database company. And when you're trying to think about what Oracle is doing, let's go to the menu here, you can think about its solutions. You can think, what do they do is number one, artificial intelligence, application development, autonomous databases, big data, blockchain, business application, cloud migration. What's cloud migration? What's cloud migration? Kelsey, what's cloud migration? You know a cloud, right? It's not those guys from the caravan at the borders, right? What's cloud migration? You know, they're coming to get us, those guys in the border at those caravans. So what is it? What's cloud migration? Any ideas?
Moving something from one cloud to another?
Or basically, I have them on what? We got Jackie, you're the consultant, Evan, to Jackie. Jackie said, you know what? When I got in here, I'm hosting all the data on premise, and what do you tell them? And what does Jackie say? I don't want to have them on my premises. Where do I want to get it? On the cloud. You think it's just pressing a button? No, I have to basically try to figure out ways to bring that to migrate. So if I look at then the solutions here, you can think about it. I'm going to do cloud platform, right? Come on in. Great. Raymond. So how are you? So we're going to go through those, and then you can think about cloud computing as it's coming of age. So Oracle's doing the same thing as SAP and the enterprise. And what do they want to be? They want to be intelligent. They want to be cloud-based. They want to incorporate IoT. What else? They want to be smart. They want to get to know their customers quickly. And what do they want to do is serve them better. So that brings us to Coral Gables. We are talking to, really, congratulations. You are the award winner of what award is it?
Digital Cities Award 2018.
2018. And where's the award? When are you going to get the award? Where?
Los Angeles this Thursday.
This Thursday. You're flying out to LA. Pretty good. And great. So how do you want to do this? Can you come up and you can introduce yourself to the class. We can talk about how we can work together. This is a great class, and what's so wonderful is maybe some of these students want to work for you in terms of internship, and everybody is on Coral Gables campus every day, right? How many people live in Coral Gables? Okay, on the dorms or wherever, right? A number of people live there. So one of the things is we've put up your links. Let me get to your links here and we can start. So you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, good evening everyone. I am Raimundo Rodolfo. I'm the director.
Do you want I'll put the poster?
The poster, that's a great start.
That's a good start. Okay.
So City of Coral Gables.
So what is your job there in Coral Gables?
Director of Information Technology.
God, we got the head of the
CIO.
director. Right, the CIO, basically you can think about it, the Chief Information Officer, the head of Information Center, right? We have some possible people that are thinking about a career like that, so maybe you can lead them into it, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Has been a lot of fun.
Okay, so I'll start with it. So what do you do, so how long have you been there?
I came from the private sector. I was an engineer for 10 years in Bell South and Motorola. And in 2004, I came to the city. So it has been almost 15 years.
Almost 15 years,
yeah.
Okay. And if we think about Coral Gables, you're trying to make us basically high-tech and responsive. What's your whole goal here in putting all this technology, having all these headaches here and everything?
To improve quality of life. Improve quality of life, improve customer service, bringing better services to the citizens. It's all about value, the value that we bring to the constituents. So the experience of the user when they experience our services, when they move to the city and they are residents, or when they visit us, they need to have a safe city. So police safety is paramount.
Public safety. So I want to reduce. I don't want to have crime. I don't want people breaking into my car, right? People mugging me on the streets. I don't want that.
And also traffic safety as well.
And traffic safety. I don't want to get in an accident, right?
We want to have in the city safe and smart traffic management so they can find their destination quickly as well.
Okay, so what are you doing in smart traffic then?
So for smart traffic in the city, we have a multimodal transportation plan. We work together on that with the traffic engineers and the planners in the city. We are implementing IoT technology that is giving us also the analytics that is helping our traffic engineers to make safe decisions when they are planning roads when they are also planning like new bike lanes for multimodal, when they are talking about scooters, when we are talking about pedestrian traffic, so that visibility over the data of the cyber physical systems that are giving us that data, that's also helping us to make the city a better city for traffic.
Okay,
So it is a long run, traffic is complex.
okay,
Traffic is a regional effort. We are one piece of the big puzzle. City of Coral Gables is small, but it's strategically located in the middle of the county. So we have US 1, Red Road, Bear Road. We have a lot of like big arteries, and we have millions of cars. So we are a city of 51,000 residents. We are a city of millions of traffic visitors, and also people that make a business life in the city. So in downtown area, we have like 1,000 people every day, pretty much, like
Okay.
going to work, going to visit. So it's a city with a small population, however, a big range of potential impact of everything we do impacts the entire region. When we improve public safety for our roads, for US 1, we are impacting the safety of millions of cars and people that drive every day in the entire county. So we are a city that, even though we are a small population city, we have a strong impact in everything we do in a smart city.
Right. And what are you doing in terms of safety? And can you watch that? It's okay? And is this okay here? So what are you doing in safety?
So that's one of the parts of this engineering diagram. If I can go from
Yeah.
from the bottom up.
You want me to go to the bottom?
So
Okay.
here, we have a foundation of high-speed communications. That is pretty much what allows us to do everything that is smart. Communications, IoT, cyber physical, data analytics, and applications to the
So when
public.
you say smart, what do you mean?
Smart basically
Because
is,
we all think we're smart, but what does this mean?
smart technology has certain autonomy, has the ability of make certain decisions. Some of them are smarter than others.
Mhm.
It goes from the ability to connect to the internet system and look for data and exchange data to advanced smart technology that has AI and ML, machine learning, and other capabilities. So it goes all the range. So it goes, for example, from technology like we have sensors for public safety, like license plate readers, cameras. They have computer vision, so they have
Computer
algorithms.
vision, okay, so where's that? That's which one?
Is this one, for example,
Okay.
license plate readers. So we
Okay.
don't show all the technology, but there are
Okay.
many different models. So those
Yeah.
cameras in US 1
Uh-huh.
that you pass, we drive millions of cars. It reads the license plate. It compares that license plate with a hot list that's coming from national, FBI.
Right, so I
Florida
can tell
Department.
if there's somebody can I tell if there's a warrant on somebody?
Amber alerts, silver
Amber,
alerts.
okay, all those
Amber
numbers,
alerts.
okay.
Also,
Amazing.
someone that is looked for crimes, for serious crimes. So this technology has helped also get criminals and people, and also stolen vehicles.
Okay, and smart lights, it turns on and off, or what, it's solar, or what? What are the smart lights?
The smart lights, they are that technology that has, a smart light doesn't need to have a brain, but it needs to have a spine.
Okay,
Actually, those lights, they have a connectivity that can go to fiber, for example, fiber optics. In the Cobra head of the smart light, there's a 7-pin connector. That
Yeah.
7-pin connector, you have the ability to put a controller. On that controller, you can have sensors. So basically, it's the capability to augment that light with technology that can control the light remotely. For example, for having business rules, like certain hours of the day,
okay,
we
so
don't
the
want
rule
light.
if, right, certain hours, okay.
And save energy also, but also it can connect sensors. So we have sensors in Miracle Mile now. We are installing sensors
On Miracle
those,
Mile.
on those smart lights. Those sensors, they can give us, for example, like traffic, pedestrian traffic data. They can give us vehicle traffic, bicycles, because it can, with the algorithms, it will be able to identify objects
Wow.
with different kinds. So a smart light basically is a light that has a spine and can or cannot have a brain.
And who writes the rules? You guys write the rules?
The rules are different types. So if you have edge computing rules, it can be, for example, decision that can be made at the edge. So if you have sensor control rules, you can have in our cloud system, which is Opera. If you go up here, so we have systems like, for example, the Kinetics. Kinetics is that platform here,
Yeah,
where
right
you
here?
can have IoT data rules. You can have business intelligence rules, but also you can have actuators. So you can actuate, also you can have business rules that apply to sensors, to lights, and to all the cyber physical
So
layers that you have.
so basically you have a dashboard here, and you can see then what your sensors are seeing, and then you can see if there are problems.
Yes, you aggregate all the data, you make sense of the data with correlation with analytics, and at the same time you can have control over the sensors. But that depends. Some of the sensors is just read only, like pedestrian counters. We are just reading counts. Now, SCADA and other type of more complex type of control, you need to have an action applied to the sensor or to the gate. That can be also applied to certain sensors. So not all of our sensors are two-way sensors with sensors and
But
actuators.
some are. And
But
then
some
you,
are.
and who looks at these dashboards?
But the idea is not to have to look to it too much, creating those rules and automation. So right now, to give you an example, we have IoT on our waterway sensors.
The
So-
waterway.
On our waterway in Coco Plum, for example, canals,
Right,
and Bell Road Canal. That gives us water quality. For example, you know the big issue with red tides now?
yeah, red tides, yes.
And the king tides.
So you can tell
flood.
if I have red tide, we can tell in Coral Gables if I have red tide?
Not necessarily, but if you analyze the chemical readings,
Right,
you can know things like density, like, I don't remember exactly, but salinity,
Wow.
pH,
Oh,
and
wow.
other values that if you're a marine biologist, you can read that and say how safe is that water for
Incredible.
marine life, but also elevation. Remember, after those hurricanes that have hit us recently and
Yeah.
in South Florida, we have issues with residential areas close to the coast and also close to canals.
on the canals, right, there are problems.
So those readings, when you go to those live sensors, you will see those readings. If we have time, we can go to the Smart
Yeah,
City Hub,
okay. Where
which
is
is a
this?
platform. It's
Okay.
the other link that I
Oh,
sent.
you, okay, you want me to go to the other one first?
Yes, because it will be more like a live
Yeah,
demonstration.
because we
where
have
you can see
a few
the-
minutes, okay,
Uh-huh.
so what's this?
Well, this is a live sensor, so the Smart
They
City
have
Hub.
these links on there.
Oh, they have it.
Yeah, great, so what are you gonna do in here?
Well, this is real-time IoT data that we are displaying on our
Oh,
Smart
wow.
City Hub platform.
Pretty neat.
If you go to the very top, doctor, please, if you go there, so this is really big, so you go. keep
Oh,
going.
wow. This is huge.
This is huge, actually. Actually, this is one of the reasons why we get this award, because
Oh, wow, you really have done, and you know, it's transparent to the, I'm a resident here as well, and I didn't even realize what you guys are doing. Okay, so where do you want me to go now?
So if you see this menu, so we have transparency portals where, there's things like business data that we have, like financial data. If you're a taxpayer in this city, you wanna know how your taxpayer money
Right,
is
well,
being
how are they
spent.
wasting my money, right?
How are you, how the government is using your money.
Right.
So you can go there and then you will see
Right.
all the subdivisions of
Okay.
all the
Oh, okay,
projects.
got it.
Uh-huh. If you go citizen engagement tools, you have social media, but you have also CRM and tools that allow you to report
CRM,
progress.
we know, customer relationship management, I'm the customer, okay, good,
So you can take a photo of a problem
right.
and you submit it right away from your
Oh,
mobile
very
phone and all
nice.
that. So you have an app store of
Uh-huh.
applications, multiple things, and enterprise systems and enterprise electronic government city services. And then you have things more advanced like IoT, Internet of Things, where we have live sensors.
So
So
what
when-
would be interesting, because we just have a couple minutes, so what would be interesting for the class to see?
Okay, now if you click on that, I just wanted to show
Which one?
them on the Internet of Things.
Okay, click on Internet of
Uh-huh.
Things,
If you are a business owner in traffic in your area, so
uh-huh,
if you can drill down in this analytics, if you go a little down, please doctor, scroll down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So these are live sensors. If you go to scroll a little more down, you will see the actual graphics.
wow.
See, for example,
This is all live,
you see this bump here? That
Yeah.
means, any of you saw that Umbrella Sky project, art exhibitions, all the colorful umbrellas in
oh,
downtown?
the umbrellas in downtown Miracle Mile, yeah, on that center, yeah,
So this is the effect of the umbrella.
wow.
So what that gives
I
you?
saw that, hundreds of people, thousands of people,
If you have a business, you need to know that art in public places have this effect.
is that on? Just one? Okay, the audio, you're okay,
Ah, okay.
right, our audio's on, okay,
Also not to speak to.
yeah, go ahead,
So this
Yeah.
data is live. You can click on that data,
Yeah.
you can drill down, you can generate
Yeah.
reports. So if
What-
you have a business, this is data is important for you.
right,
We have also the waterway sensor video down there that you will see. So you have to click on it and it's complex.
yeah, but you can go down to
do
the
it later.
waterway,
And you will get all the analytics for the water. And we are adding the kinetic one that I showed you, that dashboard, will give us all the Miracle Mile analytics that we are getting now from those
really
smart lights.
nice.
So basically, this is a transparency portal that has more than just transparency
Wow.
data.
And you guys created all this?
We create all this.
And how big is your team?
We have a team of 22 employees.
Impressive, 22 employees.
Yeah, we have a great
And
team.
the Crime Intelligence Center is what?
If you
Smart?
drill down, you see all the analytics. What we have, this is a picture of the Crime Intelligence Center. This is a system that uses artificial intelligence to do computer vision and identify objects and attributes of those objects, and also patterns. It's called BriefCam.
Oh,
And with this system, we found a missing child, for example.
a missing child through this.
We told the system, look for the child with a white shirt that was lost between this time frame, and the system found it
Wow.
in 1 minute.
Incredible, in 1 minute.
So, and this is analytics like Tableau and other
Yeah,
data.
Tableau, right, they've seen that, okay.
So basically, this is like a snapshot.
Initiative, right, this is where they had the umbrellas and so forth,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Wow, you got and see here, Open API, so what are you using the Open API for?
To collaborate with you. So anytime that you have an idea that you want to partner with the city, we want to crowdsource, we want to pick your brains and find ways how you can create applications for civic good. So you have a good idea and you say, oh, I could use this IoT data or I could use this GIS data to create an app to make my life easier and my neighbor's life easier.
So basically reaching out to your customers to help you create.
So we want to co-create, we want to listen to those ideas and we want to partner.
Wonderful.
So
And are
we
you
are- we are
looking for
doing-
interns?
We always look for interns.
Yeah, what? Yeah, okay. All right, I'm getting it, all right, thanks. So what, yeah, so what is?
Yes. So maybe we can coordinate it through you, maybe you give us a list of the people that are interested in being interns. What are the areas that they would like to
Great.
collaborate? And we work this out through HR.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, any questions? Can you stay for a couple minutes?
I will be here.
Okay, thank you. So everybody, first of all, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you can see how it even goes into the city. Basically, you think about the enterprise, how basically cities can take that same technology we're talking about, reaching out to the customer and basically using it to improve our lives. What you can think about. Thank you very much. So everybody has their job done, right? Yeah. So stay with me if you have questions. He's an attorney. Yes.
Happened the year before the
I wonder if you're interested in visiting house or if you're interested in visiting the office.
I'll let you,
Do you think I'd be interested for the class?
I mean, I think it's really interesting what they do. It's nothing like Bitcoin or AI. It's like a different kind of aspect. It's very technology oriented.
Sure.
I mean,
Have them come here and you can host them and you can introduce them.
yeah, I mean.
And you can talk, and that'll be cool. When did he graduate here or?
No, he graduated in North Carolina.
We invest
4 or 5 years ago. He's barred in California and here.
Oh, great. And he's with a firm or?
Well, no, because he does actually less than attorney stuff. He's more like the in-house. Well, he's in-house counsel, but he's like operations management. He's very much into the tech side of it now.
Yeah, so it's basically tech and, so what would you say, tech and law or tech and what?
Yeah, tech and law and business.
And, you know, every occupation now is changing, right?
Yeah.
You think about it, you know, City Coral Gables, if you're in law, whatever, and what do you wanna do?
I'm interested in business management and marketing.
And you know that's gonna change completely.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Completely, it's gonna, if you're not up, you basically, you can use all that, like business management and basically marketing. It's gonna be completely, you know, with social media and even when we're talking about with the blockchain or anything, yeah, sure. If you can even, for a short period of time, you can come,
Yeah.
you know, and then later on, you can even join us remotely. That's the beauty, you know, the same thing as before, but we can set up, you know, when the classes, we just, the only issue is we don't have a lot of, oh, you know, it'd be interesting, have them come on Monday, because we're gonna have another attorney, she's,
Stuff is
her
monitoring this,
specialty
or
is
actually it's
blockchain.
different frameworks within
I
the
don't,
city
well,
center
next
for
Monday though, I
blockchain.
know if you can.
Okay, so maybe
So,
another day, next
yeah, like-
Wednesday,
Yeah, I
right?
could do next Wednesday.
Right.
If you want, I can show you the website.
Yeah,
so you
show
can
me,
see.
go into the
See what
website.
it's about.
Yeah.
That's the statistics that approximately like 500 visit every day to the office. This now. Now that we are getting our name more
Sure,
known, so maybe we're gonna get more visits. But that means that 500 people every day goes here and use it for something. We have employees that use it too. If you work, for example, in Public Works, you are part of the mobile fleet and you use your iPads or your tablets to go and do inspections or to inspect buildings. They use technology that's part of it.
And then that connects back to.
Back to the cloud and to the analytics and all that.
So on the, like, a daily basis, what is your responsibility for that? Just continuing to develop new.
On a daily basis, we continue to improve the enterprise, and some of these projects, they are a work in progress. For example, our enterprise systems, we are implementing a new permitting system. So, because we have one, but it's kind of like obsolete. now.
Leader in
There's
data.
more
So
technology,
this
there's
is
more
company?
mobile.
Yeah,
Now you
so
have
yeah,
like
I'll
chatbots
show
that
you.
allow you to
This
do
is
AI
like the
on
main
Yeah.
company.
So we are
Uh-huh.
implementing a
And then
system for
this,
permit,
everything they work
rent,
with, CalAmp,
so
made
basically,
made
we're
distributed
improving what
feature
already
for them,
and make
which
it
is
easier
like,
and more-
so I worked with them for like a year.
Oh, wow.
And CalAmp designs these boxes that go in like the fryers or like KFC and McDonald's, and they track like the quality of the oil and just give like a report. And so I was doing like more like the hands-on repairing and programming, but
And who owns this company?
so the owner is Robert Moses, but they just actually got bought by a company in New York called Telethon. They got a really big buyout in the beginning of this year.
Oh, good. And so, and then he has shares, your brother, or?
I believe he did get
Oh,
some.
good.
Yeah. Let me see.
So where's their headquarters?
So right now they're based in Cutler Bay.
Oh, so they're based here too?
Yeah, they're based here. They I know they got they're like licensed in California, so like they'll have California number and address.
Uh-huh.
But the headquarters.
So basically, go to the top. So basically, if you look at data remote, moving data over wires, experts at remote data acquisition, okay? And go down a little bit. Solutions, leaders in data over wireless since 1991. Okay, so they're even POTS, right? Plain old telephone lines, so they're really old, right?
And those they made themselves, like the routers and the pots and the boxes. They're
And what is CalAmp?
CalAmp is the
One source for connectivity, real-time analytics, data in motion. And what is this?
This one is that's
Choosing the
GPS
right,
tracking that they do.
the right GPS solution, and solar and battery powered standalone perimeter intrusion detection. So this is basically like safety.
Yeah, so they do a bunch of things, like
Wow.
the pots and the boxes, the only thing they actually manufacture themselves.
But other
Everything else they just,
they're like an integrator.
yeah.
And then go down. Yeah, innovation, worry-free migration. So who would be their basic client? Who's their like ideal client?
So like they sell obviously to the fast food industries for the fryers, and then they work a lot with Miami-Dade County. And for the GPS tracking, they sell for the school buses, the police cars. They also
But they don't sell to Coral Gables. So somebody like him would be a potential customer.
Potentially, yeah. I have seen, they do like these little antennas that I've seen them around, like South Beach, and I've seen them in Coral Gables.
So maybe they do.
But yeah, if he wants to connect with them, that'd be
Right,
awesome.
right. See, you can make a connection there.
I don't know, I can show, what else? I can show you some.
Solutions.
And doing all these kind of things.
So he doesn't even, so does he do any more law, or it's basically he does it, he likes this more?
He likes this more, but he does a lot of like, you know.
Well, it's
writing
good he
up the
has the legal
contracts.
background, so he
Yeah, I
can
mean,
do
he
it.
did the whole acquisition, he took care of
Right,
all
right,
that.
there. But see here, it's the same, see here, the data, the analytics,
Yeah.
it's basically what we've done before, right?
That's what-
Everybody using the same.
Yeah, so when I hear these like terms and class, it sounds so familiar because I worked there. so I-
Right now, you know how it is, and you see the trend, everybody's going to the same trend. Doesn't matter, and then when you go to the city, right, pots in a box, right, the technology, right, so he's doing that, right? That's probably doing less, that locating, tracking assets in real time, see the real time kind of things? Solar bed, so these are doing the solar,
Yeah, those, they don't, that's like probably, I would say, the smallest.
so they're corporate headquarters, yeah, whoever knew the corporate headquarters would be no Cutler.
Yeah. I mean, since I started working there about 4 years ago when I first moved to the US. And they've grown, they've been bought out twice. So they're like now in this huge office, like they've really grown.
Wow, so you can see it, so you learned a lot from
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think like if I wasn't at school every day, I'd be working there again.
Yeah,
They're a little bit out the way.
Yeah, they are, but in the the product and the news and the careers, and what are they looking for careers? I always like to look in a company and careers, you can see what they're looking for. Oh, look at this. See, Linux support, systems engineer, right, the platform we were talking about, right? It's all based on Linux, right? The underlining of open source,
Yeah.
right? And then more, yeah, and that's it. So they're just looking for a systems engineer.
I guess so. They're
Yeah.
very good with their online support. That's something
And
like.
sales support, and they
Yeah,
want
they're
sales,
really good.
right?
Because they'll do like support for the Color Amp products because they're like the final seller.
So if I click on sales, what does it say?
This one, let's see.
Oh, entry level, okay. Pre-sale support. Office just basically, looks like, is that what you did?
No, I was an assistant technician.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I worked in shipping and
So
like
you,
operation assistant.
so it's great, you got to know a whole business.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing some like fun stuff. I was like plugging in the machines and
Great.
hooking it up on the cloud and
Right.
like pinging and
See,
doing
see,
all these codes.
see.
A lot of the time, like in the beginning, you don't know what you're doing.
Doing,
You
but
just do
now,
it.
look at how you're speaking, right? I was
Yeah.
pinging, right, and I was doing the cloud, right, and these are all kind of cloud-based, right? And they have a 305 number, so they just got bought out by another, where's the company that they got bought out from?
It's in New York. It's a
New-
really big telecommunications company. I forgot what it's called though.
So you can tell him, so if it's not Monday, then he can come, because I think next week is gonna be our, because the week after, isn't it gonna be, I think next week is our last week.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come, even for a short time, if he wants to come on Wednesday, he
I'll
can't
ask
come
him if he
Monday.
can come this Wednesday if you're.
This Wednesday, yeah, let me just see, let's see who's, yeah, have him come.
If he can.
Yeah, if he can, for a
I
short
can
period of
text
time.
him.
Yeah, you can text him.
Yeah, like for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, for a couple of minutes, and he knows where it is. You can even, maybe you can even bring him in, I don't know if you want him to come in near, like what Raymundo did at the end, and then people can talk.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
So like 5:30, 5:45.
5:45.
And do a little quick thing.
Yeah, a little quick thing, just like Orlando, then you can do it, and then if he's looking,
Yeah, I'll ask
be
him.
interested, yeah, just to see, and you can give him directions, like, get, he knows the campus or no?
Yeah, he knows pretty well.
Okay, so you can give him directions, and you can introduce him when he comes, yeah, 5:45 on Wednesday, that'll be good. I think, what do we have scheduled? Let me just see. Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Like, what are other students doing, how are they interacting with the city, like, how are they
But you can see how much they're doing. And
Yeah, they're
basically-
doing a lot.
Yeah, and then in Coral Gables, they're basically taking some of your,
Yeah.
their products, same kind of things, and they're just doing a little bit more. But you can basically, you can even introduce them, if it makes any difference, you can ask them about it. You get commission for the sale.
I think so. I was even gonna start working in sales there at one point before.
No, but you could,
Because when I started out there, they honestly had about 10 employees. So it was like a startup kind of culture,
You
so
know, it'd be
everyone was doing
perfect, I don't
everything.
even, yeah, 'cause next week we're gonna have the security person for UM speak. But, yeah, we should be okay for, Yeah, come to 5:45, just like this one, it's perfect, because we can go over all the notes, and then people can see how it's applying.
Yeah,
And
because
you-
it's a good like introduction to what's about to be presented.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. I'm sure I can email you the confirmation, but
Yeah, but it's okay,
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure it's
yeah,
okay. I mean, yeah, if you come this week, next week, for sure.
Yeah, well, next week, but next week you can come, because this week, this 5:30, this Katya, she specializes in blockchain. She's an attorney, and then this is scheduled, our chief information security officer for UM is coming to talk, and then we don't have class here, and then we have presentations, so
Yeah,
this is really.
that's kind of it.
Right, so either, this works out well,
Yeah, that's, I know, I'm not even gonna be here Monday, because we're actually away for a wedding this week.
oh, okay.
So definitely Monday's not gonna work.
Okay.
So Wednesday, or else the Wednesday after.
Yeah, but this works better because she's coming
Yeah,
at
yeah,
5:30, so just that we don't have that much
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But, because she's really, and this would be interesting in terms of, she's the chief information security officer for
Yeah, that'll be very
UN.
interesting.
It'll be interesting to see, and a lot of times she also even employs interns for her on campus, basically how to keep the campus,
Right.
the internet and surfing and everything. And then, so we don't have, we just have somebody in my second class on Wednesday, they have electronic, it's an interesting company. I don't know if you're interested. She basically is a company called, Modernizing Medicine. Have you heard about it? They're in Boca Raton. They're in Boca. And they started out, the founder of Blackboard was a young guy. He sold the company, made millions, came down here, went to a dermatologist, and he said, God, you're working so
Wants to help people, and I believe like.
inefficiently, let's put all the electronic health records on an iPad. And basically, when you're seeing the patients in dermatology, right, you got a mole here, let's take a picture, have the machine also look at it, right? So what they did, it was interesting, now they're getting millions and millions from a number of different companies. But what's interesting here is they did something different. Instead of getting programmers and teaching them about medicine, what do you think they did?
Higher tech.
Who's this software for?
It's for doctors, right?
Yeah,
So medical.
so who do you want to design the systems?
Oh, you want doctors? Okay.
So they taught the doctors 8 weeks or so of coding.
Oh, okay, so switching it around, there you go. Bringing the tech to the doctors so they can make the system. Interesting.
And then have the tech guys be on the back end for the database and so forth, but for the front end,
Have the doctors.
because they know what they
What they
need,
need.
right?
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to teach somebody, a doctor, teach them some front-end coding than I'm gonna teach a tech person 12 years of medical school.
Right, no, that's true.
And they don't practice either, even if I taught them, right? So they know so they have a number of physicians for each specialty. So they're coming on Wednesday. If you want, you can come, she's coming at 7:45. 7:45, you're welcome to join the class, but it's very interesting. She practices one day here at UM. She's in rheumatology, and she practices one day at UM. Okay? Yeah.
He said he can come
Okay.
Wednesday, 5:45, and he said any topics in particular?
Well, you can tell them.
I'll tell him what we
Well,
talk about.
Right, you can tell, and you can tell them what we talk about, and then you can also tell them what you think would be most appropriate, or what you wanna learn, and what you think the class would learn, and what we did.
Right.
Okay?
Sounds
Perfect.
Thank you, Marissa.
My
So we'll
pleasure.
see you
Keep
Wednesday.
up the great work and
Thank you.
attitude. So are we set for the project?
Yeah, just switching over to like education and Yeah, I talked to like group members.
Okay,
We
so
met
it's-
before class.
Okay,
Just that updating the website and stuff now, because I had one built for the previous idea, but I was just changing it over to be more.
so basically, we're even, and what's interesting is that you can think about it, is creating a blockchain, basically disrupting education,
Mhm.
creating a blockchain where we're basically, we can only have like 40 students here, we can broadcast this live
Mhm.
through the internet, and then people can come in, they don't, anonymously, they don't have to authenticate themselves, they can join and they can see it. And if we look at a number of these, we can even just, if I go to, this one was done on the blockchain, for instance, Steemit, right? That we can go into this class, you see this class of smart cities, right? So they can join the class here, or if you're a participant, for instance, Raimundo, if you weren't able to come, you were in Los Angeles getting your award, you can then come as a guest remotely, and he could speak and then he could share his screen, or anyone then could view this, right? Right. That you could view then this, right? That we could see, and then you could view a number of
Right.
these. And then this is, you know who this is? You know who this is? Come in.
Yeah,
Caleb.
in class?
Yeah, he's in our class, so he's viewing it as well. So here's a student as well,
That's nice.
right? And so we can see, if he was Mike, then we could see it, he can view this remotely, that he was able to see it.
Great.
So you can do it, and then we can do it with YouTube, right? We can go to YouTube.
We're showing with the SEO that you get
Yeah,
number
yeah,
one.
right. So
That's amazing.
we could
I
see
love
that,
it.
right?
That's the greatest hack that I have ever seen.
Right,
And
so we
get to
can
number
say-
one with.
What is it?
That was
Right.
amazing.
A rushes. Right?
What did you do with the
Live,
SEO?
we were doing some things on SEO, broadcast. So, and then we can see here, A Rush's broadcast, and see here live now?
Mhm.
So we can go in here live now, right, and we can view these then, live, how we were doing these, see, we can be doing these live, so we can do these live here.
Great.
Right,
That's what's
You
next.
can have the chat.
right, and then you can have the
Yeah.
chat here. So what we could then do is we could have the students,
Uh-huh.
then part of the class, they could get tokens if they then start responding to the chat. So we have certain students, and then they could say, for instance, you know, Dr. Rush, there's a student here that is not clear on IoT, or he wants to ask the speaker. We can get another couple, you can see here AJ is here, we could get another couple of speakers. He could then join as well, you know, in terms of.
You know what he was saying, when I was speaking, they couldn't hear me because I was too far away from the mic.
Right,
Ah, okay,
right.
okay, I get it.
So, and we didn't mic you, but we could mic all our speakers and so
I love
forth.
it.
But
That's great.
what is interesting here, you may wanna move away from the camera. What could be interesting here is that you can really think about disrupting education.
Oh, yeah.
And getting the students more active, and they could be rewarded. The students in the class could get rewarded with tokens.
Turn on
Yeah,
their right-hand cell phone.
is this one, is this on?
Turn on the volume so we can hear your audio better.
Okay.
It says it's on.
Is this a live?
Yeah.
It does say live, I don't know what it is. Let's see, let's hear it if we can. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Can you hear me better? Yeah, so we just have to play it. And then you could have certain people, you could have the tech people then come in, you can have certain people, even in communication, they could be
Oh,
in
yeah.
charge of, like, you can give them rewards each time.
A great experience. It's interactive. It's taking
Right,
it to the
and-
next level.
Right,
Mhm.
and then you can think about some of the things that you're doing with the sensors,
Yes.
you know, that you could participate. And you
Yeah.
can bring those live in, and then you can even get with the, you can think about it, you can extend it to the end users. And if some people don't wanna show their face, they don't need to show their face, other ones unauthenticated, and then they can
Yeah,
take those.
true. I was thinking maybe that's part of the, of like chats that we want to build with citizens and with people.
With citizens, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times you have those and to be able to come, a lot of the
Yeah.
students have constructive ideas that they could basically communicate with you, what their constructive ideas are
True.
in terms of helping you.
We should do like a pilot one day and try with my team there and do
Right.
something there.
Right.
Let's do
Right.
something.
Okay. Right, so you can see these. Okay, great. All right,
I'll keep working on that.
keep on working on it, we'll work it out.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Thank you for coming to speak.
Thank you. Okay, we hear you, Avi. So let me just move that in. Okay, so you see that. So you can see this. So we can just, you know? So you can see that we have a number of those. So what do you think of how we can work together, you know?
Oh yeah, I was thinking Dr. Rusnek, he was telling me maybe about in city events, like we can do some sort of like a camera collaboration and pilot something that where the citizens can join a network and report issues and help with public safety. So that's some. I
Right,
think
color, you know, basically right.
Yeah.
When I see something, you know,
yeah, but I can report it live from the event. We can maybe do a pilot in one of those events. And maybe you can talk to the public safety team and say
yeah,
if we
you
can
just have to
pilot.
see where they need it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You see here, you was thinking for the police, you see here, he's wearing a helmet here,
Uh-huh.
and here is a cell phone. So we're thinking for the police, they can go around and they have the cell phone, that they basically then could ride their bike and then they can broadcast live. They could even broadcast, in this case, to a private channel.
Yeah, there are many applications where we can augment our visibility. You know, we have cameras, but you know the cameras. The thing with the cameras that you need to have someone monitoring because we don't have the AI that is doing the real time
Right,
24/7. So we can do it, but after the issue. So after something happens, we can analyze video.
Right.
But if we can crowdsource some of those initiatives, I see something that we can maybe try is that doing like an event,
and
doing a
see
pilot.
here, we can see this, plus, you see here, I can share my screen,
Mhm.
right? So I can share my screen as well in the broadcast, you see,
Now-
your screen sharing.
What are you doing with blockchain right now? Do you have any project that we can
So
maybe?
we're trying to create this education on the blockchain. So basically giving them tokens,
Uh-huh,
let's say you wanted to get an MBA.
uh-huh.
You don't want to, first of all, you don't have the time to sit in class. Number two, a lot of the things, when I'm going over IoT, you basically can say, you don't have to sit through these students to see, I could be able to tell them what's on-prem, what's on cloud, right? You don't need to be all the time there, so you can be remotely, sometimes basically taking the classes,
Uh-huh.
and then get credit when you want to, and even if you were somewhere else in the world, you could go to an embassy and get credit.
We were thinking, for example, with blockchain,
Mhm.
if we could be able to create a citizen ID, digital persona, that we can use to get them access to the services in the Smart City Hub. So we also get the analytics of the visitors and how they use the technology. Because right now, we don't know how,
Who's using it,
Who's using it?
how long they've been on the data analytics. You can start it off maybe not doing it on the blockchain,
uh-huh,
and then later on doing the blockchain, and that's what I was telling you. We met with the folks from Malta and Estonia.
uh-huh.
And in Estonia, if you look at, let me just show you here for a second. Let me just minimize this, let me just go to another. Right? So you can think about it in this way. Let me just go here. You know, have you heard of Estonia?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, they are one of the smart cities in Eastern Europe, that they
Right,
are doing a
right.
lot of things
Right,
quickly,
right.
you know.
And I'm just telling you, I just saw their card now, you know, welcome to blockchain. right
The
here.
e-residency, yes, I remember that.
Right,
Yes.
right, see?
That is the
In
digital ID.
Estonia, we have built a digital society, and so can you. So they're basically trying, we've built a digital society, so can you name the most advanced digital society in the world by Wired, right? Estonians are pathfinders, learn how.
Maybe because our city is not that big, it's 51,000 residents, maybe we can do something that at a medium scale.
I think they
Yeah.
have a million for their whole country.
So we can maybe do something like
Right, and they were excited about it, and they wanted to come over, especially in the winter in Estonia, you know, they love the
that. They
idea.
want to go to Miami.
They-
But if they are coming,
Coming here
maybe we
anyways.
can do like a
And
meeting
you know
with our
what?
mayor.
And you know
Mhm.
what, I was talking to some other people, even if you would be interested, we could even get a number of cities together if you want. I don't know if
Mhm.
you wanna do it on your own, or even combine like Miami Beach, or you wanted to do it on your,
We
let
can
us
do
know.
an event and I can invite our colleagues from other cities and we get together and we talk to
Right, you can
Estonia.
get in Estonia.
I would
See,
like to
but
learn
here,
more.
look at this, cybersecurity intelligent, right, cross-border healthcare, digital transformation, it's interesting in
Very
education.
interesting, yeah.
We understand raising smarter kids, but also understand the importance of digital learning, you know, even in the healthcare, you know.
Building the
Real
societies
time.
of the future, that they
Right,
are gonna
right,
be,
right.
the digital literacy is gonna be
Right,
taught
you
from
can do-
the,
Right,
from
right.
K through 12,
Right.
from K
And
through
will
12.
countries one day compete for e-resident?
Yeah.
And basically, they want everybody to be, you can easily become an e-resident in Estonia.
So from anywhere else. I get it. So that's what they call the data embassy. Gotcha. So what can we do, okay, on that respect? Can we create a digital twin of Coral Gables? And they already have a digital twin, and have those twins to collaborate in a safe space.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, because that's a new concept that is being talked about. It's a digital twin. Basically, you take a digital version of your entire enterprise or your organization or your city. That digital version lives sort of like a sim city type of.
Right,
So you have,
simulated,
so you have that sim city, but it's not simulated. It's a digital twin.
it's real. not
It's a
simulated.
doppelganger. It's like a, so it's like a particle entanglement. So whatever happens here happens there too.
Yeah,
So we have that mirror city in the cyberspace, and I'm sure they already have it because they have that blockchain digital country. We can maybe create all the collaboration on that space. So that would require to have some sort of like a data platform
right.
where we can build
In the
a,
cloud, almost like a
Yeah.
virtual private network.
so every service
Right.
will be pretty much like a SaaS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Well, I would like to know when are you planning to talk to them and how?
I can do it even, I'll send them an email, I can send them tomorrow, I'll send
So
them an
we are
email.
we are having a busy schedule with the Smart City Conference here and the competition that we're doing
Right.
with UM. I would say as soon as we finish that, we're gonna have a little more time.
So give me a date, first I'll reach out to them, and then I'll put you on the email, you know. Who else should I put, tell me, write to me, if you wanna start, I can put you as the one, I make an introduction, you know, or we'd like to work together, you know, and I'll send it to him. As a matter of fact, it was just on my desk this morning, I saw his card, you know, I have all these business cards, and I was trying to put them away, and I just saw his card, and there's a couple of them, and he's like the,
There is a way we can collaborate too through NIST. We are part of a super cluster in NIST
really?
of cities and countries. If they join the cluster, we can participate in the NIST program together, and we can do all these initiatives together with the university.
Yeah, I'm sure they would even wanna come, you know, to to Coral Gables, we can even set up a day, a day, and you can set up with them, and then we can also put
Okay.
our, we can set up, but first we'll talk, Then
Okay.
we can even, as a matter of fact, we were even thinking of going in the summer, if we set it up, as we're going through and visiting them. Because we have some things I'm supposed to be speaking in London, in the summer, so one in San Jose, but in July, so maybe we can even do something. We can do both times, we can even take a trip
What time, like July time frame?
July.
Okay, so maybe we are gonna finish the competition with UM Emerge in April. So maybe May will be a good time.
Yeah, maybe we have them come May, you know.
Maybe. Okay, I will send you an email with some options
Send
and
me
then we'll
options, and then we can invite them over to come here. I'm sure they'd love it, you know, and then we can speak, you know, virtually with them, and then they can come over here, and then they can kind of like guide us. We can, your next competition would be the beginnings of blockchain for one of the cities.
I would like to move
What do you
forward
do?
with something that really gives
Small,
us.
something small that we
Yes.
can make, you
Proof
want
of
to make
concept.
proof of concept,
Yeah.
something, you know, very small, but something useful
Yes,
that
I was
we could set up.
for sure, digital IDs and digital personas is something that will be very a good use of blockchain, because we can have the
Perfect.
privacy that we need and we can implement it in something that is factual.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay, Doc?
I love it.
I'm gonna send you an email. Thank you.
I
Thank you for the
appreciate,
invitation.
and enjoy your trip. And send me pictures,
I will.
send me, or a video, you know what I mean? Send me pictures. It's well deserved, and seriously, if you need them, I don't know how, we'll work together, and if you need my recommendation and anything, I'll be happy
Thank you, Doc.
to give you a recommendation, and let's look at what our next project can be, and with our best students, you know, we can work out
I would like to
something.
explore the internship, so see. if
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
with our best students, we can explore an internship with Coral Gables.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
See you. Bye-bye.
So let me just shut down here. Okay, so our people on the internet, we're gonna shut down. And I appreciate it, everybody's participation. Let me shut down here. Thank you very much. Okay? I have a couple of students here I'm gonna work with, so I'm gonna stop the broadcast, and then we'll shut off these lights, okay? So thank you very much. Bye-bye. Let's stop here. We had participants from the class. Great. And then let me just shut these down and we can go. So Lindsay, how are you doing?
Good.
Everything going well?